Once upon a time, in the village of Oka, there lived Tunde, a young man. He was an intelligent and joyful person. Unlike his siblings, who found fulfillment in helping their parents at the shop, Tunde's mind was always far away, dreaming of a better life. Tunde's parents, Papa and Mama Tunde, were well known in Oka village. They were both kind and toiled tirelessly to make life easier for the children. They had a shop that was filled up with colorful and beautiful fabrics at the village market. Though life was a bit of a struggle, their love for their children was strong and ever present. Tunde, the eldest of their children, was the dreamer, his eyes twinkling with a silent promise that he would carve a better future for them all. Their home, though modest, echoed with laughter. Tunde and his siblings were able to attend the village school. Tunde's siblings enjoyed their brother's dreams and his excitement at painting their lives with great hope. Evenings were spent sitting around a lantern with Tunde telling them fantastical tales of becoming a famous doctor or a great footballer. His siblings, wide-eyed, would contribute and add their own fantastical dreams to Tunde's stories. His parents could not afford to buy a ball for him, but Tunde was able to invent one for himself. He used a tightly rolled ball of rags and made it to look like a ball. With this makeshift ball at his feet, Tunde would dribble it around the marketplace. Tunde's father was not in support of his son's actions. "Tunde, my son," he would say, "football is a city game, a game of fancy boots and bright lights. Here in our village market, we don't regard playing football as much as we regard trading in cassava and palm oil. Football won't put food on the table. Learn how to sell fabrics as your parents are doing so that you can be independent in future," he would say, his voice laced with worry. Yet Tunde did not listen to him. He practiced every chance he got. His best friend Ayo, the same age with Tunde, would often join him. They would chase each other through the market, their laughter echoing amidst the voices of the villagers. Ayo was a talented player himself, but his skills were overshadowed by Tunde's passion and talent. He saw the admiration in the villagers' eyes the way they talked about Tunde. Once in a while, Ayo would allow jealousy to burn through his heart. One afternoon, the prince of the village visited the village with his two friends. They came from the city. One of the visitors was Mr. Femi. He was a talent scout searching for hidden gems in the rural villages. His job was to identify and recruit individuals with talents for roles in sports. The prince took his friends around the village for sightseeing. Mr. Femi knew talent when he saw one, and the young man playing so well was talented. He was very much impressed by Tunde's raw skills. He approached Tunde. "You have a gift, boy," he said, his voice deep. "A talent that deserves a bigger stage. I've been watching the way you dribbled, and even though you are not using a real football, your talent is very much there. Yes, you deserve a bigger stage." He offered Tunde a chance, a trial at a prestigious football academy in the city. Tunde was so excited about the offer and leaped up for joy. He introduced Mr. Femi to his parents, and there were further discussions about Tunde moving to the city. News of Tunde's opportunity spread like wildfire. The villagers erupted in cheers, their faces filled with pride. Even Ayo, Tunde's best friend, seemed genuinely happy for his friend. He told him that he was very proud of him. But the embers of jealousy in Ayo's heart manifested. The next day, Tunde, still filled with excitement, went to his parents' shop, and Ayo, his friend, came around. Ayo was very jealous with the way he spoke. He asked Tunde, "Are you sure this is a very good idea? You are leaving the village, your family, everything." Tunde replied him, "Ayo, this is my dream. A chance to play real football, maybe even travel around the world." Tunde replied. Ayo mocked him. "Travel around which world? More likely you will end up scrubbing toilets in some fancy stadium kitchen. You have never been to the city, Tunde. It is a den of thieves and cheats. They will chew you up and spit you out." Tunde frowned. "Ayo, my friend, don't be like that. Mr. Femi wouldn't have chosen me if I wasn't good enough." "Good enough for the village, maybe," Ayo replied. "Kicking at the dirt again, the city players are giants, Tunde. They will run circles around you." "I'm willing to work hard," Tunde insisted. "Besides, wouldn't you want your best friend to become a famous footballer?" "Famous? You? You can't be famous. Instead, you'll be begging for scraps on the streets all alone." Tunde felt hurt with Ayo's bitterness, but he also felt a little bit of sympathy for his friend. But there was nothing he could do. "Ayo, I promise I won't forget you. We will write, and maybe someday you can even visit me in the city." "Right? Visit? Empty words, Tunde," Ayo replied. "You will be too busy with your fancy new life to remember me." Frustrations bubbled up in Tunde. "Isn't this what you have always wanted for me, Ayo? To succeed? Why are you trying to hold me back?" The truth hung heavily in the air. Ayo's jealousy hung like a veil, trying to dampen Tunde's mood. "Ayo," he said finally, "I understand, but this is my chance, and I have to take it. I won't let you or anyone else hold me back." With that, Tunde walked away, the weight of his friend's envy a heavy burden alongside the trail of his own future. A week later, Tunde left the village and traveled to Lagos. Leaving his family behind was tough, but the academy was a dream come true. At the football academy, Tunde trained rigorously, his skills blossoming under the guidance of experienced coaches. He made friends, faced challenges, and learned the true meaning of dedication. Meanwhile, in the village, Ayo's bitterness continued. He couldn't stand Tunde's success. A year later, Tunde left the village, Ayo got Tunde's address and wrote him a letter filled with lies, painting a picture of his family struggling and Tunde's father very sick. Blinded by the letter and his longing for home, Tunde made a rash decision. He abandoned his training and traveled back to the village. Tunde was shocked to find his family very well, his father's health very much okay, and the market bustling as usual. Confused, Tunde confronted Ayo. Ayo had to confess his jealousy as his reason behind the deceitful letter. Tunde, heartbroken, felt betrayed. He wept and said to Ayo, "Ayo, what have I done to you to deserve this? Why are you so envious about my progress? Do you know that you have ruined my career? Ayo, I don't ever want to see you again in my life." Mr. Femi, very angry at Tunde's disappearance, threatened to blacklist him forever. Tunde felt his dreams chattering around him. Just as despair threatened to consume Tunde, his father stepped in and advised his son. "Tunde," he said, his voice very firm, "you made a mistake, but champions rise from their falls. Go back to Lagos, plead for forgiveness, face the consequences, and prove your worth." When Tunde went back to Lagos, he apologized to Mr. Femi. Mr. Femi told him that he was very disappointed in him, but that he was willing to give him a second chance. He told Tunde that the second chance will be an opportunity for him to win in life. He advised Tunde to be very careful and focused. Tunde was very grateful and promised the coach that he would never disappoint him. He channeled his heart and anger into his game, his skills reaching a new level. He forgave Ayo but realized that envy had clouded their relationship. It was a very hard decision to make, but Tunde made up his mind to stay away from Ayo. A year later, Tunde stood in the big field. The D-Day had arrived. He had practiced very hard for this day. This particular game would determine his future. He would travel abroad and play with bigger players after the game. Back in the village, his family watched Tunde's achievements on their small television. They prayed for him and hoped that he would succeed. Tunde played through the defenders, and with a powerful kick, he sent the ball flying into the net, leading his team to victory. The stadium erupted in cheers. Tunde's name echoed through the park stadium. He raised his arms in victory. He had become a celebrated footballer. And so the teenager who once dreamt by the marketplace proved that he could birth a great dream. I hope you learned something new from today's story. Thank you very much for your support. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel so as to enjoy more of my stories. Until the next one, stay uplifted.